Hey guys, Anthony here with Geek Domination. I'm here with Katy,
Hello.
my lovely fiance.
Ooh.
We just saw Hidden Figures.
And you guys definitely should go see this movie. It is up there in my top 10 list this year. Amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. And the reason for that, I think, too, is Theodore Melfi directed this movie. And this is a surprise hit for him. He had St. Vincent from 2014.
With Bill Murray.
Right. And most of the reviews were kind of mixed.
Pretty good, solid on Rotten Tomatoes, but I mean, I think everybody kind of just was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but like NASA's ships, this shot to the stars.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's give Anthony a round of applause for his silly jokes and move on.
So this was based in 60s era Virginia, and the coolest thing about this was that it featured 3 black women, and it was really, really cool to see them in this era and this time frame, because not only are women kind of being held back, but it wasn't a really good time to be an African American in America.
Segregation was alive and large, my friends. Separate drinking fountains, separate bathrooms, and even separate coffee pots.
Absolutely. It was no good, and it was a very tension-ridden time.
But in this tension-ridden time came this very positive story, starting with Katherine Johnson, played by Taraji P. Henson, and I'm very sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
It's our first time with this actress.
But I want to see more of you, please.
Yes, she was phenomenal. So much dramatic chops here.
Mm-hmm.
And for someone that I hadn't seen before, I was very, very impressed.
I was so impressed. She played the cards of happy and sad and dramatic, and she played her role so well. I felt like I was there in the 60s with these women, and they're doing their part at NASA, but not really being too respected for it. But they still sent a man into space.
Exactly. Very, very good stuff. Next up, we've got Octavia Spencer. She was Dorothy Vaughan.
Mm-hmm. She played more of a supervisor role, except without the title of supervisor in this movie. And her story, I wanted a little bit more of in the movie, but I feel like she was so great in the fact that she was self-taught, and she was a role model for all these other young women in NASA, saying, we will make it, we will be fine. And her ending's very happy too, just like the rest of this movie, and I think she did an amazing job in this role.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Janelle Monae is the other big standout out of this movie, and my God, she is having a good year.
Playing Mary Jackson, whom was going to be one of the very first women engineers at NASA. Not only that, she's African American, so good for her. And
2 barriers. Baby.
Yeah, exactly. And she played this role very well, and every time I looked at her on screen, her facial expressions were so strong, and she just had this aura of strength and righteousness around her all the time, and I was just so impressed because every time she came on screen, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can handle all this good acting. It was so good.
It was really, really good, and she's had a singing background, so seeing her in not only this movie, but Moonlight just before was astounding to me. She was so good in both of these movies. She needs to be in more films.
Yeah.
If you were a white male, would you wish to be an engineer?
I wouldn't have to. I'd already be one.
Yeah, please cast her in more things, Hollywood, please.
Next big one, Kevin freaking Costner.
Who plays the Al Harrison character that is the boss man of NASA. He really brought it. He was right there in this movie. He impressed me so much.
For a man that I find to only show up sometimes in his movies lately,
He showed up.
He showed up, yeah.
He was amazing. He literally broke down barriers. And he really was one of those people, because usually in movies like this, about prejudice and that kind of are focused on race, I don't like the white guy, but I liked him.
Yeah, he was a great supporting character in this role, but also a leading man when he needed to be. Loved it. Next up, we wanted to just shout out Kirsten Dunst.
Very well done, my friend. I haven't seen you in anything in a while, and I thought you were great. You played the role of kind of boss lady in a way.
Yeah, Miss Mitchell.
Yeah, Miss Mitchell.
Yeah, she sounds bitchy.
Yeah, she kind of was, but she played it well. So
yeah.
Good on you.
And her character has a great story arc here, coming to a really satisfying conclusion.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And another character that had great growth in this was Jim Parsons' character.
Who played Paul Stafford. You might know Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory as Sheldon. Again, Jim Parsons is put into the nerdy role of you know, he's very smart and kind of full of himself. But again, he has very great growth in this movie as well, and I actually really liked it because it was another side of Jim Parsons that I hadn't seen.
Absolutely. Next up is Mahershala Ali. Now, he has had an incredible year this year. Not only was he in Luke Cage, but he was also in the very big indie surprise and hit, Moonlight, much like one of his other co-stars in this film. And he showed up again here. I mean, he made you cry.
He made me cry in a good way.
Yeah.
Not a bad way. In a very, very good way. Please cast him in more things. I want to see him more. I mean, he just acted his ass off, and it was amazing.
Yeah, he's always very good in these movies, and I can't wait for more. Ultimately, this movie has stars, it has a great story, a great hook.
It's positive.
Satisfying.
A lot of movies that focus on race and prejudice and things of that nature end up kind of leaving you with this kind of sour taste in your mouth, kind of just sad and like reminiscing about the times where this was happening in your daily life.
Right.
You know, but this one ultimately was very, very positive. I was so happy after this movie, and I don't think I've liked a movie this much in a while.
Yeah, not since Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, obviously. But,
yeah. But for me too, I can't agree strongly enough. Like, it literally was an amazing movie. It was full of this talented cast, and God, like, you're so right. It's so nice to see a movie where black men and women aren't degraded. They have periods of upheaval and they have to struggle to get by. It shows you the reality of the situation, but it also shows that these characters won.
Mm-hmm. And they did win, and that was the greatest story because it was a story of triumph and hard work and respect. And in the end, I think it achieved full marks, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10
So
out of
good.
10. I think we could all use a little respect this year.
I think so too.
All right, guys. Well, go and see this movie
after
immediately.
you comment below about what you about how you're going to go see this movie, then you like it, then you come back and comment and tell us what you thought.
Yeah. And for more, stay tuned right here. We'll catch you later.
Bye.